Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church in Columbia, South Carolina, where we're part of the ELCA. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. Dietrich Bonhoeffer was considered one of the preeminent theologians of the 20th century. He had escaped Germany before World War II, but went back saying that if he didn't join in the struggles of his country during the war, he had no right to participate in the recovery afterward. Very long story short, he was arrested by the Gestapo and imprisoned. His book, Letters and Papers from Prison, is well worth reading. In that book, Bonhoeffer penned a poem that is hauntingly poignant. It is called simply, Who Am I? Who am I? They often tell me I come out of my cell calmly, cheerfully, resolutely, like a lord from his palace. Who am I? They often tell me I used to speak to my warders freely and friendly and clearly, as though it were mine to command. Who am I? They also tell me I carried the days of misfortune equably, smilingly, proudly, like one who is used to winning. Am I really then what others say of me? Or am I only what I know of myself, restless, melancholic, and ill, like a caged bird, struggling for breath, as if hands clasped my throat, hungry for colors, for flowers, for the songs of birds, thirsty for friendly words and human kindness, shaking with anger at fate and at the smallest sickness, trembling for friends at an infinite distance, tired and empty at praying, at thinking, at doing, drained and ready to say goodbye to it all. Who am I? This or the other? Am I one person today and another tomorrow? Am I both at once, in front of others, a hypocrite, and to myself a contemptible, fretting weakling? Or is something still in me like a battered army, running in disorder from a victory already achieved? Who am I? These lonely questions mock me. Whoever I am, you know me. I am yours, O God. This week we are considering some questions Jesus asked people and noting how deep and profound they are, and that question of identity that Bonhoeffer struggled with is at the heart of our last question this week. Who do people say that I am? Most of us probably know this story, which occurred in the region around Caesarea Philippi. The location is important. That city had long been a center for the worship of Greek gods, and then named after a Caesar who the Romans thought was a god. There, surrounded by a culture of false gods, Jesus asked two questions. Who do people say that I am? In other words, what have you heard people saying about me? There was all sorts of speculation, from Moses come back to Elijah come back, and even to John the Baptist, who had been killed, brought to life again. Then Jesus asked the key question: Who do you say that I am? That's where we come into the story. Who do you say Jesus is? Let me put this some other ways. How does how you live your life say who Jesus is to you? What do your choices reveal? What does how you treat others, how you welcome strangers, how you care for the poor or immigrant or those on the margins of society say about who Jesus is and the place Jesus has in your life? I've heard it said that our check register is the most theological document most of us ever read. What does yours say about the importance of Jesus to you? How do you spend your time? What is important to you? These things tell us who Jesus is to us. What do your choices in life say about who Jesus is to you? You see, there can't be any middle ground. Either Jesus is who he says he is, or he isn't. He can't be a little bit Jesus. And yet many of us live as if he is, and our choices reflect that. Who do you say Jesus is? Peter responded that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, and that Jesus told him that that kind of confession and commitment was the very bedrock and foundation of the church. Who do you say Jesus is? May God strengthen our faith and build on us. Thanks for sharing these moments with me, and remember to let this day belong to God.